Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the best DIY videographer of all? That's a tough one.
What?
Well, you're pretty good, but there's a lot of people out there doing some great stuff.
Well, yeah.
I mean, even if we're just talking about the women, you got Toolbox Diva up in Baltimore. She does some pretty cool stuff.
Okay.
There's C. Jane Drill. She makes videos about just about everything. And don't forget your admin on your Facebook group page, Laura Weldon. She doesn't do videos, but she does amazing work, and she's always so helpful to people.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and Anne of all trades. She forges her own knives, for Pete's sake.
All right, I get it.
But you're pretty good.
Yeah,
You
whatever.
are. You are. This mirror belonged to my mom, and it had a frame around it that was made out of some kind of crappy material. I think it might have been made out of plaster. She gave it to me, and I am going to attempt to make a new frame for it. And the only reason why I think this is even possible is because of this miter saw right here. I got a couple of different pieces of trim from Home Depot today, so I'm going to do a little bit of playing and see if I can make it work. I'm thinking maybe I'll do something like this. Now, if I do that and glue those two things together, I still have a little bit of space in there, so I'm going to have to figure that out. This is oddly satisfying. Hey! I think maybe just a little bit more. All right, here we go. All right, it's been a couple of days and these pieces are now dry. In order to get this attached to the mirror the way I want, I'm actually going to glue them in place around the mirror. Now, in order to do that, I can't just glue them and walk away because it'll make a really crummy seam in between those two. So I really have to clamp them down tight at the corners to each other. There's a couple of different ways to do that. Ideally, I would have a corner clamp for each corner, which would tighten them at a 90-degree angle to each other and hold them there until the glue dries. Unfortunately, those are about 10 to 20 bucks each clamp, and I would need 4, so I really don't want to spend that kind of money right now. Another option would be to use 4 different clamps like this, except bigger, 2 in this direction and 2 in the opposite direction. Problem there is that clamps that are large enough to fit this project would be anywhere from $30 to $40 each, and again, I gotta buy 4. So I've thought of a different strategy, and I'm hoping it's gonna work. This thing strapped together, and I did have to do some little adjustments here or there, and it's not exactly perfect, but I'm going to go in at the end with some wood filler or maybe some caulk and fix it up. Can't ever pass up a chance to say caulk. finally ready to be hung. It's been about a week or so, but most of that was dry time. The corners on this didn't come out exactly perfect, but for a first try, I'll take it. You know, the more I look at this, the more I'm realizing that this really is not the most structurally sound thing I've ever made. So what I'm going to do is add some brackets to these corners. Now, ideally you would have these cool little L brackets that are made perfectly for something like this, but I don't happen to have any of those, and I really don't want to run all the way back to the home improvement store again. So I happen to have a couple of these guys, and I'm just going to cut a notch out of them so that they'll fit perfectly over this corner and make it work. Somebody call Tim Gunn. That's actually a really cool idea for a show. Here you have some aluminum foil, some wires, and a screwdriver. Make a working solar panel. Do they have a show like that yet? If not, they really should. Are there any TV producers out there? Y'all call me. So I have this planer I thought I would try. I just cut myself. Good job, Chick Fix. Alright, I'm getting blood everywhere. I gotta go get a Band-Aid. Ouch. There's someone in my house. Somebody with a big giant